Good morning to all of you. Today, we are going to discuss how to report the credit note in the GSTR1. Might be you were saying that we can use the directly GSTR1 ka table 9B and we can report. But here, my question is something different. We all know that credit note can be issued in 4 circumstances as specified in section 34 subsection 1. If the taxable value is extra or the tax is extra, goods or service found to be deficit, or goods are returned. I am taking one example with all of you. Example is, I have raised the tax invoice for rupees 1 lakh by charging the GST 12%. So this was my taxable value and this is my tax. And let's assume that the invoice date is 1st July 2023. Okay. Now what happened? This rate which I have charged, I found subsequently that this rate should be 5%, not 12%. So it means I have charged 7% tax extra. Now the question is, can I issue the credit note? The simple answer is yes, I can issue the credit note. And that credit note will only be for 7,000 because 34 subsection 1 allow us to issue the credit note if the taxable value or the tax charge extra. So what happened? I will issue the credit note, let's say on the 1st September 2023, only for 7,000. Now the problem is how this credit note would be reported in the GSTR1. Now the question is how to report this credit note in the GSTR1. I have seen two practice. Which practice I have seen? Let me explain you. That first practice I have seen that the taxpayer are reversing the entire invoice by full value. They are using the table 9B and issuing the credit note for 1,12,000. Okay. And they are adding the tax invoice. Again, they are adding the tax invoice for 1,05,000. See, if you talk about net impact is correct, there is no problem. But whether this method is correct or not correct, that we will discuss in some time. In this, I like to add one point because same tax invoice number cannot be added. So they are using certain suffix or prefix like dot or dash or A or B, something like that. Now the second method, amendment 9A. I'm assuming my transaction is B2B or B2C large. Now, how they are using this method or why they are using the amendment? Because when they have reported the transaction in the R1, they have reported against 12%. So now by amendment, they are shifting the value from 12 to 5% because it prima facie appeared to be easier for them. And one more point I like to highlight that this method they are using because they don't know or they might not be aware what is the correct mechanism of reporting the credit note. मैं ऐसा क्यों कह रहा हूं? मैं ऐसा नहीं कह रहा कि आपको नॉलेज नहीं है. प्रॉबेबली वो चीज आपको ध्यान में नहीं है कि क्या जीएसटी का पोर्टल मुझे अलाउ करेगा या नहीं करेगा. The method, correct method is neither first one nor second one. Let me give you the reason why I am saying that this method is not correct. If I will use this method, it means probably if e-invoicing is applicable or e-way bill would be there, then you already generated the e-way bill or e-invoicing by this date on this date and using the actual invoice number. But now you are adding the suffix or prefix. Probably that will be create the problem in the hand of recipient for ITC. Now, why this method is not correct? Because normally we can say if there is a mistake in reporting the value, reporting the transaction in the GST return. So means the details of document entered in the return are different from the document, then you are using this amendment table. It is not written anywhere that this is the meaning of amendment. It is my understanding that amendment means if there is a mistake in reporting the details in the return, then you can use the amendment and rectify that mistake. But if you go that July month details is entered in the GST return as per the actual tax invoice. So there is no mistake in reporting. So therefore, the details are correct and using the amendment is not advisable. What to do in that case? Let me go to the GST portal, B2B registered or B2B unregistered large. When you will add the detail, you will add note value. In this case, note value would be 7,000. Now, what would be the taxable value? The taxable value would be 0. Now, this point to be understand, because we all have the understanding that if the taxable value is 0, the corresponding tax amount cannot be appear. That is correct, but it is editable. So let me say that it is against 12%. So I need to reduce to 5%. So I am putting the 0 against 12%. Now here you need to enter manually, edit the 0 of the taxes and need to enter the amount of taxes. Now see, the note value is 7,000 and same the 7,000 is for the tax. Will it allow me to save? Let me see. Request accepted successfully. It means now this is only differential for the details of taxes. So this would be the correct method to report the credit note only for the tax component or the debit note only for the tax component. So I hope it is clear. If you have any question, kindly let us know. So thank you very much. Goodbye to all of you.